Okie dokie, everybody. Welcome back. You're here at the Fox Den with Pater Voss, the Papa Fox, and we're going to continue playing Pillars of Eternity by Obsidian Entertainment. When we last left off, we had cleared up the Wood End Plains, and we had gained a new companion in the likeness of Sagani the Dwarf Ranger.
Ready, Watcher.
So we're going to continue talking with her. And we hadn't finished all of these conversation loops, so we're going to do that. What do you do back in Nasatak? Well, I'm a long hunter. I stalk game across the tundra with some of the other wives. We usually hunt caribou and oxen, but we find hares and birds too. It's a good and respected position. To see so much of Nasatak in the company of my friends and sisters, this is one of the pleasures of life in Masuk. Tell me about Itumak. She scratches behind his ear. A good hunter, but not much of a talker. That's fine by me. When we hunt in Nasatak, we almost always bring our foxes with us. They help us track and flush game, and they're fearless defenders against bears and snow leopards. Clever Itumak has always been my favorite. He wags his bushy tail. Looks, just as a side note, if you hear some talking and some babbling in the background, my son is actually awakened from his nap. So this will actually be my last recording until he goes down to bed tonight. So, there we go. I'm recording this actually the day after Thanksgiving, and oh, it was so good. We didn't have any family over, any friends over. It was a very low-key sort of holiday, and oh, I am so stuffed. The turkey was amazing, and my wife also made Yorkshire pudding, which is awesome, by the way. So, you have family back in your village? Of course. We'd never send a woman who hasn't had the chance to find a mate and have a couple of children of her own. Aren't you worried your husband will... Are you kidding? I'm the best shot in Masuk. Tell me about your children. I've had 5. Yakuna, Estia, Najo, Anik, and Malak. Estia and Anik died young long ago, lean winters. Malak was barely talking when I left. She scrapes a thumbnail along the handle of her hunting knife. He probably won't know me when I get home. She frowns, her hand falling from her knife. Even in Nasatak, I spend most of my time on the hunt. But then it's easier to relish the hunt when I know I'll get to see my family enjoying our kill. This is heartbreaking. I couldn't imagine being away from my son so long that he wouldn't recognize me afterwards. What's your husband like? Kalu's a good man. He's raised our children well and built us a strong home while I've been away on hunts. Our parents chose us for one another when we were still young. Not the way things are usually done here, but ours chose well. She smiles. We came to appreciate each other as helpmates first, then friends, and then, well, you know how it goes. There is a hint of a blush below the stripe of face paint. That's all. I'm curious about your search for Persok. I'll tell you what I can, but Tarnek Ilitsak pilgrimages like mine are rare. What do your people have? Why do your people have this tradition? She pulls the bear figurine out of her satchel, running a finger along its smooth back. It's something we've always done. The elders say it was first began to forge ties with other villages. It's hard to fight over caribou herds when you see someone you respect on the other side. We also believe that passing our history on in this way keeps us stronger, and it helps us. It helps them, the elders, I mean, return to us after they've been away from us for a generation or more. They can use the experiences they've accumulated over lifetimes to lead the villages again. Are elders usually reborn so far from the village? Well, most often they return somewhere in Nasatak, a member of another village, or they're reborn among the Glamfelin of the White that wins. Even so, it's hard to say what's usual. A mischievous grin crinkles her eyes. When my grandfather was a boy, the elder came back as a polar bear. The huntress chosen for the task had to recite half of her village's deeds while running from the beast. Okay, that's kind of funny. Her expression sobers. Even so, there have been journeys longer than mine, some last decades, and the huntress doesn't always return. What happens to the elder when the elder is found? That depends on the man or woman he's become. It's easy when the rebirth happens in another village of Nasatak, where the tradition is understood. Even in the White That Wins and the southern islands of the Deadfire Archipelago, People understand this custom and will welcome you politely enough, even if their souls do not remember. She shrugs. But sometimes you find someone whose soul has no memory of the village, and you have to tell him of the people who remember him still. As disheartening as this is, you hope that the reminder will aid his soul in a future life. How did you get picked to come in search of Persok? She grins. Another village tradition. The elders watch the caribou migrations and cast seal bones to determine the right time for this journey. Oh, little man. Littlest guy's burbling in the background. When the omens were determined, all the village's wives drew shark teeth. We're the ones that go away to hunt and fish, so we're the best suited for a task like this. Anyway, I grabbed the little tooth. She frowns. Traveling so far is a rare privilege for us, but as you can see, the journey can be unpredictable. What are your thoughts on my search? She frowns. Well, it helps to know that what you're hunting. You've got a lot of tracks to follow. Where they'll lead is anyone's guess. Well, let's move on. Okay.
Hey there.
Cool. Now that we got that going, let's go and get this started. And we are actually going to be going... Oh, littlest man. Tiniest wiggle. The wiggliest of the tinies. Okay. Did I actually go to Madmere Bridge? I don't know that I did. Well, that's odd. Let's go back to the Black Meadow, actually. We're going to take a slight detour. I want to make sure that I didn't miss something there. Loading pages. Golof the Drunkard, a local inebriate, has wandered into the stronghold grounds. He is asking for help. With his accumulated debts. Map. Let's go down here. Fast mode active. Eventually, if you travel on too much without resting, you'll actually accumulate levels of exhaustion, so you'll actually want to take that into account. Oh, well, there we go. He's sounding off. Sounds like he's singing a little bit, too. Oh, my goodness. Right in the midst of battle. Looks like we'll have another map we can get through. Okay. Madmere Bridge. Let's go ahead and sneak. There we go. Zurup's skirmisher. Let's go ahead and charge right on in. Okay. There we go. There's that. Well, let's take off fast mode real quick.
Light, flame, and sound.
Ooh, fine hatchet. Okay, and some camping supplies. That's always useful to know about. Let's make sure that we get absolutely everything that we need to get. Let's actually see how much time we have left on my ticker. We have about half the episode left. Okay, let's get that. Skanebone. Okay, there's some special folk.
That over there? That'd be the easy way to get to Defiance Bay. Before the floods, anyway.
Well, looks like we can't go that way. Okay, I don't want to steal from folk. Because stealing is just bad manners. Okay, so this will go down, but I don't want to go down there yet. Let's actually see if we can
I shall be discreet.
Explore the rest of... Oh, hey, cool. What's this? Damn looters, can't be bothered to find an honest wage. Curse my luck, the woman mutters, kicking her foot into the ground and upturning a clod of soil. As you approach, her ears twitch, and she turns to greet you. Hail, traveler, she says with a half-hearted wave. The bridge to Defiance Bay is out. If that's where you're headed, you'll need to find another route. What destroyed the bridge? The river has been rising on account of all the storms. Here, where the river narrows, the flooding did most of the damage. The Orlan woman folds her arms, a scowl overtaking her face. Guess they don't make things to last around here, do they? One of the stone columns collapsed in a flash flood, taking the whole middle section of the bridge out to sea. Madmere Bridge was the most direct route from Gildedvale to Defiance Bay. Merchants and travelers now have to find boat passage or add days of extra travel to loop around the bay. So I started a ferry service, thinking I'd earn some coin and help others across over the bay. Paragon shakes her head, her ears twitching as she speaks. And that was a bigger mistake than that time I allowed a cipher to court me. Mistake? How so? I'd been attempting to turn a quick copper, but she bites her lip, her face turning flush with anger. Just my luck, the blasted currents threw my ferry into the rocks, dashed it, and my profits to pieces. Making matters worse, when I went to prowl the shore to salvage whatever shipping crates didn't sink, a pair of looters attacked me. She stomps her foot into the ground. The damn brigands had the nerve to attack. I managed to avoid harm, but now they've stolen by force all that is left of my fortune. She eyes you for a second, hand cupping her chin. You know, you look like you'd fare better against those looters than little old me. Could I enlist your help? Oh, I'll take a look. Peregrine smiles wide, her ears perking up. Thank you. I'm sure those thugs have made a mess of my stock, but maybe there's something there to be saved. Oh, goodbye. Flotsam and jetsam, do-do-do-do. Okay. Before we do that, we're gonna explore as much as we can first. There's a thing here to collect. Okay, now let's go back up. And I think we're actually going to finish off this map and then call that the episode. Oh, there we go. Okay, cool. Go ahead and take out this thing. You notice how well we're doing now that we've taken a few of the endless paths down to size. It really does help quite a bit. Maggots squirm amidst the deer's entrails. Oop. Get him! Bring it down! Oh my goodness, this is just going along just it's useful to have some folk who are primarily ranged folk, but have a couple of people like the Rangers are actually pretty good up close and personal. So it's nice to have a little bit of everything going on. Excuse me, what I meant by that is it's nice to have some people who can pull double duty if you have enemies that pull up out here. I said duty. Okay, let's get that. That'll be just fine and dandy. And one last thing to collect, and now let's go ahead and deal with those looters. Do-do-do-do. Yeah, I don't want to steal stuff. Stealing is just poor manners. Unless if it's Skyrim, in which case you can easily get around it. Okay, looter. Let's go ahead and take this guy out. Oh, man.
Dead on.
There we go. Okay. There we go. Get the blood moss. Let's make sure our fighters get up front. Gathered around the soggy timbers of a ship wreckage, men and women pick through the driftwood, snatching muddy silverware, moldy clothes, chipped pottery, and anything else they can spot amongst the detritus. All eyes turn to you as you approach. The group trade nervous stares until at last a woman in muddied clothes steps forward and speaks. Where are Bretel and Terran? She asks. They were just up ahead that path, and we heard fighting. Her eyes narrow, and the hand moves towards the knife on her belt as she anticipates your reply. They attacked us? It was a matter of self-defense. You killed them? You see Hanwen's eyes tear up before she buries her face in her hands. The men and women around her take a step back, eyeing you cautiously. Hanwen looks up, wiping her eyes. You speak of self-defense. Well, we are defending ourselves from this storm. Her voice rises up and her face grows flush with emotion. The floods took our entire farm. We have nothing left. Nothing. No food, no roof. And now I don't even have my cousins. She throws up her hands in despair. We don't want to fight you. We've lost enough already. Please, just leave us. I came here investigating some missing cargo. We mistook your cousins for looters. She blinks in disbelief. Looting? But this is a wreck. What value does it have? The men and women all turn to her, their faces frightened and worried. Please, we need these supplies dearly. The storm took everything from us. It is not our desire to steal, but we are destitute. Should we let these wares just sink to the river bottom? I'm sorry for your misfortune. Can I help? Perhaps you could tell the merchant you found nothing beyond bits of driftwood. From her point of view, it will be as if the river washed it all away. Besides, how much copper will she really make by selling these rotting clothing and soiled wares? I'll see what I can do. Thank you, she sighs, wiping sweat from her brow. You were the first turn of good fortune to come our way in a very long time. Hanwen snaps her fingers at one of her comrades and points to a pile of supplies lying in the sun. We don't have much, but take this as a token of our thanks. Okie dokie. There we go. Well, there's nothing left in there. Okay, and let's go ahead and pick this back up. I like being a nice person. And truth be told, this merchant can probably, if they're smart enough, they could probably make their money back. So let's go ahead and talk with her. There we go. I picked through the wreckage, but I found nothing salvageable. It must have washed away. Peregrine kicks her foot into the dirt several times. Well, I figured as much. Well, thank you for your assistance. I suppose I need to figure out how I'll recover my investment. At last, her foot stops kicking and she lets out a long sigh. Thanks for trying. If you find yourself in Defiance Bay, search out my shop. I'll need all the customers I can get. Well, there we go. Okay, we're going to call that the end of the episode. If you've enjoyed, go ahead and hit that like button or give me some feedback if you prefer. Yeah. Of course, if you enjoy my other videos, then a subscription to the channel would also be absolutely wonderful. As always, it's great to see you all here at the Fox Inn. I hope you'll come back next time and pull up a chair for some more Pillars of Eternity. Alrighty, you take care now.